The year was 62 AD. The heart of Rome pulsed beneath the marble steps of the Senate, where ambition, betrayal, and whispered promises of power filled the air. And it was there, among those shadows, that my story began. My name is Aurelia Cassia, daughter of Senator Gaius Cassius. For years, my father stood among Rome's most respected men, loyal to the emperor, wise in counsel, and perhaps most dangerously honest. But honesty is a fragile thing in Rome, and one evening it cost him his life. It was the festival of Vulcanalia, the night Rome honored the god of fire. Torches burned along the streets, laughter filled the air, and the city glowed in gold and flame. I was standing by the balcony, watching the lights dance across the Tiber River, when a messenger appeared. He was pale, trembling, breathless. He carried no scroll, only fear. "My lady," he gasped. "Your father, he has fallen." I ran through the crowded streets, my sandals echoing against the stone. When I reached the Senate, the world fell silent. There, beneath the towering marble columns, my father lay motionless. His eyes were open, staring into nothing. The guards claimed it was an accident, that he slipped and fell down the steps. But as I knelt beside him, I saw his hand clenched tightly around a burned fragment of parchment. Only 3 words remained. "They will strike soon." From that moment, I knew the truth. My father had not fallen. He had been silenced. At dawn, I entered his study, a room that once smelled of ink, wax, and wisdom. Now it reeked of fear. The scrolls were gone, the drawers forced open. Someone had been here before me. On the desk, carved faintly into the wood, was a symbol, a black eagle with outstretched wings. My heart froze. I had heard of that mark only in whispers, the sign of a secret faction within the Senate itself. The Black Eagle, a brotherhood of senators who sought to control the empire from within, to bend the throne to their will. As I traced the mark with my fingers, a voice came from behind me. "You shouldn't be here, Lady Aurelia." I turned sharply. It was Marcus Varro, my father's most trusted aide, and the man who had often dined at our table. His tone was colder than I remembered. "What are you hiding, Marcus?" I asked. His eyes flickered, just for a moment. "I'm protecting you," he said. "There are forces at work you don't understand." "Then help me understand," I whispered. But he turned and left, the echo of his boots fading down the marble hall. I knew what I had to do. My father's friend, Senator Publius Lentulus, was an honorable man, one of the few who still believed in justice. I went to him at once. His villa overlooked the city, his gardens blooming even in the dry summer air. He welcomed me kindly, his old eyes full of sorrow when I told him the news. "I feared this," he said quietly. "Your father was close to uncovering them. The Black Eagle has roots deep within the Senate. If they mean to strike, they will not stop with him. Then we must stop them," I said. But as he leaned closer, I noticed something. The faint glimmer of a ring on his hand, shaped like an eagle. My blood turned to ice. He saw my gaze and smiled. "You are your father's daughter, Aurelia," he murmured, "too curious for your own good." Before I could react, 2 guards stepped from behind the curtains. I tried to run, but they seized me, dragging me toward the atrium. Publius rose slowly. "Your father was a good man, but Rome belongs to those who act, not those who dream." I'm sorry for interrupting the story, but please subscribe and like the video for more stories like this. The Emperor's voice was cold. "Arrest them!" The chamber erupted. Guards stormed forward. Publius drew a dagger, lunging for me, but the Emperor's Praetorian caught him first. His blood splattered across the marble floor. The Black Eagle was no more. Later, as the sun set over the city, I stood on the balcony of my father's house. Rome stretched out before me, vast, eternal, and silent. The Emperor had offered me gold, even a title, but I refused. All I wanted was peace. Marcus Varro did not survive his wounds. They found him near the Forum, his hand clutching a broken eagle pendant. I had it buried beside my father. In the days that followed, the Senate swore loyalty anew. But I knew better. Rome does not change. It only hides its darkness behind brighter marble. My father once told me that power is like fire. It warms, but it also burns. And as the torches of the city flickered in the wind, I finally understood his words. In Rome, the flames never die. They only wait for new hands to feed them. That night, I followed him. Cloaked in silence, I trailed his shadow through the narrow streets behind the Forum. The air was heavy with smoke and wine. He moved quickly, glancing over his shoulder. Finally, he stopped at an old villa near the Aventine Hill. Through a crack in the door, I saw them. 4 men, their faces hidden by hoods, gathered around a table. In the center lay a bronze seal stamped with the image of the Black Eagle. One of the men spoke. "The Senate will vote in 3 days. When it does, we strike. The emperor will fall, and Rome will belong to us." My pulse thundered in my ears. They were planning a coup, and Marcus was with them. I backed away, but the floor creaked beneath my heel. The nearest guard turned. "Who's there?" I ran. Through alleys, past vendors packing their stalls, I fled until the shouts behind me vanished into the night. When I reached home, the sky was already brightening. I collapsed by the fountain, gasping. They locked me in a cellar beneath the villa. Days blurred into one another. I heard footsteps above, muffled voices, preparations, orders, the sound of metal striking metal. Somewhere above me, Rome was changing hands. On the 3rd night, a whisper woke me. "Aurelia." It was Marcus. He opened the door, his face lit by the dim flame of a torch. "Come," he said. "We don't have much time." I stepped back. "Why are you here?" "You betrayed my father." He shook his head. "I tried to save him. He knew about the Black Eagle, and he trusted the wrong man. I couldn't stop what happened, but I can stop what's coming." He led me through tunnels beneath the villa, the air thick with dust and decay. "They plan to assassinate the emperor tomorrow, during the Senate meeting," he whispered. "They'll blame it on rebels from the provinces. Once he's gone, they'll declare martial law and take control. Then we have to warn him," I said. Marcus hesitated. "No one will believe you. You're a senator's daughter, accused of treason. But..." He handed me a small leather satchel. Inside was a scroll, sealed with black wax. "This is proof. Names, letters, every member of the brotherhood. Your father hid it before he died." We emerged near the Forum, the first light of dawn painting the city gold. I could already hear the horns calling senators to assembly. We ran toward the Palatine Hill, but before we reached the gates, riders appeared from the shadows, soldiers in black armor. "Run!" Marcus shouted. The first arrow struck him in the shoulder, spinning him backward. I turned to help, but he pushed me away. "Go! For your father." He charged at the soldiers, drawing his sword. I ran through the crowd, clutching the satchel. Behind me, I heard steel clash, shouts, then silence. I reached the Senate just as the emperor entered, surrounded by guards, robed in purple and gold. I shouted his name, but my voice was lost in the roar of the crowd. "Please!" I cried, forcing my way forward. "They plan to kill you!" A soldier seized me, but I broke free and threw the satchel at the emperor's feet. The scroll spilled open, and as he read, the chamber fell silent. One by one, the senators turned pale. Among them stood Publius Lentulus, his eagle ring gleaming under the morning light.